Let's face it, there aren't that many festive holiday video games to play during the winter, so I've decided to start evaluating sections of video games featuring traditional festive or winter themes. By following my strict criteria, I'll be deciding whether these levels, worlds, and sections can be considered adequate enough to justify the game as a satisfying winter experience. Spider-Man Miles Morales is the weirdest way to say Spider-Man 2 that I've ever heard, but today we're not going to be talking about the chronology of the game. Instead, we're going to judge if Spider-Man Miles Morales can be considered a true winter video game.
Stars and Stripes!
Hello and welcome to another carrotscraps video, and by another, I mean the 41st. Before we start, let's quickly go over the criteria of what constitutes a video game. I mean a winter video. What constitutes a winter video game? The first qualification, and arguably the most important, is snow. Let's be honest, like seriously, if there isn't snow in the game, I wouldn't even consider doing a video on it. The second is family. Now this doesn't need to be family by blood, it just needs to be a game that somehow emphasizes the wholesome nature of family values, between friends or actual family. The third qualifier is festivity. From decorations to joyful merriment expressed by a character, festivity takes many different forms, but all of them are valid towards this qualifier. Finally, the last qualification is food. Food is very important during the winter. That's why bears eat it or something before the winter happens. So if there's no food in your game, there's a chance that the overall grade will suffer for it. With that explanation out of the way, let's briefly go over the story of Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's winter in New York City, and the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is leaving the new Spider-Man, Miles Morales, alone to protect Manhattan while Peter goes on vacation. Peter has confidence in Miles' abilities, but Miles consistently doubts himself throughout the story, before ultimately overcoming these doubts in the conclusion of the game's main conflict. Now, I'm not going to go into any major or really any minor spoilers in this video, but essentially throughout the course of the game, Miles discovers he has new super abilities as tensions rise between himself and the ones he cares about. His mother is trying to protect Harlem and New York City through her political campaign, but a new gang called the Underground and a corporate militia courtesy of Roxxon Energy is making Miles as part of Manhattan very unsafe. So the question is, can Miles protect Manhattan, stop the new villain known as the Tinkerer, and live up to the title of Spider-Man? Well, I'm not going to tell you that. If you want to find out, you're going to have to play the game, I guess. And with the story synopsis out of the way, the first criteria for us to discuss is snow. And I'm really excited to talk about this one because Miles Morales is a gorgeous winter wonderland, teeming with beauty after every... Are those bodies hanging from the ceiling? Oh, that's... Oh, why are there so many bodies hanging from the ceiling? I thought this was a winter game. Why is... I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know it was going to be this kind of game. I thought it was a different kind of game. I didn't realize... I understand why spiders, like, web up their victims, but why would a human being do this to somebody? It just makes me start, like, my mind starts going in all these directions, and none of them are good. None of these directions are good. I'm genuinely really freaked out by this. I thought this was gonna be like a winter, like a pleasant experience, but now I'm just scared. I don't want to record this by myself right now. I'm really freaked out. I have like goose pimples all over my... As I mentioned earlier, Miles Morales takes place during the winter season, which is actually very huge for this particular evaluation. I don't know if you know this, but during the winter season it snows a lot, and that's what this is all about, kind of. All right. I will admit that the snow looks more stunning in a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, but Miles Morales brings something different to the winter video game table. While it may not be the best looking snow, it is the most consistent snow I think I've ever seen in a video game. There's snow throughout the entire game. Again, this is just a huge factor when deciding whether this is a good winter video game or not. But even though I don't think that Miles Morales has the best looking snow of the games that we've talked about so far, the snow still looks really good in the game. Let's be honest, the look of New York City during winter is iconic. And the slight changes of weather really bring life to the snow. From slushy to flurry, the weather really has its own personality in this game. And being so high up in the sky, it's not hard to wonder why people... Wow, he is spinning a lot. Why are you spinning so much with the cat in your bag? I know you have spider powers, but the cat doesn't. Oh no, where's the cat? The cat is gone. Oh no, never mind, it survived. I guess the ends justified the means, but you should be more careful when you have cats in your backpack, Miles. Especially when you're soaring thousands of miles off the ground. Family is not only persistent throughout the entire game, but it's also a significant theme of the game's story. How to communicate with family better, and how to forgive the family that makes mistakes. These are very significant themes and moments in the game, and I really like the way that they tackle these difficult issues. But for all of the family conflict, there's an even greater amount of love from Miles Morales' family. Rough but honest moments mixed with tender and sweet moments really help make an authentic family experience in this game. There are a lot of emotions on display, and all of them are very, very genuine. What's wrong with your wrist? Ah, is he okay? Are you supposed to move your wrist like that? Let me try this. Oh, no, actually, I'm doing it right now. It's not that. What if I do it like, oh no, I've broken my wrist. Look, Miles Morales cannot be stopped in this video because there are decorations everywhere in this game. Around every street corner, in every interior, and also around every street corner. The decorations are endless, and they never let you forget what time of year it is,
whether you want to or not.
You can also hear various people on the street talking about various winter holidays, which is super nice. The decorations aren't just plentiful in Miles Morales, they're also just really well rendered. None of them look cheap or poorly designed. They're all clearly from a nice virtual store. And speaking of digital stores, one of my favorite parts of the game is when Rhino takes Miles on a violent tour of the mall, or some kind of shopping center. The important thing is that while you're navigating the chaos that this supervillain is providing, you can admire all of the numerous decorations throughout the center. It's a very cool set piece, and it's very memorable. When I think of the game, it's one of the first memories that comes to mind. Even the interior of Miles' apartment is well decorated. Look at this, they even have like a winter tree. Is that what that's called? They have a winter tree. Miles has a winter tree. I feel like that's not what that's called. What's that? I don't know. I feel like there's another name for that. I don't know. Winter tree is the only thing that's coming to mind. I think that's what it's called. It's a winter tree. He's got a winter tree in his apartment. Isn't that cool? No, I think it might be something else. I don't know. No, it's winter tree. Whatever. Lastly, when it comes to food, Miles brings it all the way home. Not only is there a lot of food on the streets and in the fridge, but it's also on the table. Miles, his mom, and his two best friends have a very intimate dinner together. And during that dinner, there is much food. There is much food. During this dinner, there is much food. Again, like the decorations, the food in this game is very well rendered. Your attention when playing this game is not going to be focused on the decorations or the food, yet I really love that the developers put so much time into making them. It's nice that when you really examine the little details in Miles Morales, that you get these little rewards. I mean, looking at this food, it's almost good enough to be like real food. Like real food that's good enough to eat. Like real delicious food. No. We've been through this. Stop thinking about digital food. You don't want to eat digital food. It's not real. You can eat real food. You have real food right in the kitchen. Why do you always do this to yourself? Why? Anyway. At the end of the day, Miles gets a 4 out of 4 on the Winter Games scale. It's a perfect winter game with a perfect winter score. How could you refute that? You can't. I don't even understand how this happened. All right, seriously, only looking at this game as a winter game is a disservice to how great it is. I'm going to be very brief about my real talk on the game right here, because I am definitely going to do a full review of the game in the future. But I absolutely love this game. I potentially like it more than the original. Miles' additional powers, such as his bioelectricity and his camouflage, have been a little bit odd in the comics, but I have to say they fit perfectly in a video game. I've heard some people mention that these mechanics make the game easier, but in my opinion, they just make the game more fun. It's fun to beat up bad guys, and as always, it's really fun to swing throughout New York City. But the story is really great too. In my opinion, the story is awesome for the same reason it's awesome in the first game. There's a real focus on character drama, and because of that focus, these stories end up being better than a lot of the stories put to film. Lastly, as a Puerto Rican kid who grew up in New York, I've always kept my eye on Miles. And while Miles has had a lot of great portrayals over the years, with my favorite being the Spider-Verse movie, I've personally never been more proud of his ethnicity than in this game. I genuinely got emotional playing certain parts of this game because I've never seen my upbringing represented so thoroughly in any media. The last thing I'll say is that I was gonna hold out and play this game on PS5, but luckily the PS4 version is pretty perfect aside from the occasional bugs. Yeah, like that one. There's a bug. Police, there's a bug. I'm stuck in a building. I don't know how to get out. There's a bug in this game. I need your help. I need you to come and take it from me. Hello, police? Yeah, I'm like stuck in a building. I don't know what's going on. I'm having a tough time. I don't understand anything. I'm the king of Manhattan. I don't know how to I don't know how to swing my way out of this one. It looks like I'm stuck for good. Help me, police. There's a bug. There's a bug in this game, help me. Anyway, like I said, I'm definitely going to do a review on this game eventually, so those are just some of my brief praises of the game for now. Seriously, if you're curious about the game at all, definitely play this game if you have the chance. But on the subject of winter games, this is going to be a hard one to beat for years to come. It basically embodies all 4 of the winter games criteria perfectly. Constant snow throughout the entire game, a strong emphasis on friends and family, lots of festivity in the form of decorations, celebration, and even music, and of course, there is lots of food, including a family dinner. I mean, this is it, y'all. This is the benchmark. Every winter game should aspire to be this good, both for my stupid made-up reasons and for the genuine quality reasons. Now that I've played the game twice, I have this feeling that I'm gonna have to play this game every December. That is until a better winter game comes out to challenge Miles Morales. Do you agree with my decision? Is Miles Morales the perfect winter game? I'd love to hear what you think of my judgment in the comments below. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If for some reason you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel for more. I'm live all the time on Twitch, but during the month of December, I've been doing the Carrotscraps Winter Games, which essentially means that I've just been playing games that have snow in them on my Twitch channel. Oh, and I wear a Santa hat. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, make sure to check me out on Twitch at carrotscraps. I'm also at carrotscraps on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks again so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon. Miles Morales is the brand new hero. He makes all the villains fear his name. He produces electricity from his palms. But he can ride the New York train thanks to his unlimited Metro card. Why do they call it Venom? He's already Venom. Why'd they call it Venom? There's already Venom. He can use the Venom, but he's not Eddie Brock. Why'd they call it Venom if there's already... Maybe we'll be singing that every year, every winter season. Miles, I hope I didn't let you down. I liked that song. I know you probably don't. It's okay.